We are at a key time, a juncture in human history. Now is the time to support alternative media, to appreciate the free and open internet that we may not have for much longer. They bring us into an open depression. They can shut it down as CNN's pumping, as the White House is promoting. We need your financial support as well. When you buy the books, the videos, the ball caps, the Patriot T-shirts, they're all materials that wake people up, that help you interface with others, that help you identify yourself at city council or work or on the street with other like-minded people to form your own communities. We've got these Tyranny Response Team, Infowars.com ball caps, $9.95 at Infowars.com. And your purchase makes this radio show, the films I make, the news websites, this whole operation possible. So be sure and support us. And I want to thank you all for your support and support people like Mike Rivero, WhatReallyHappened.com as well by visiting the site and supporting his sponsors, support our AM and FM sponsors, support everybody that makes this radio show possible. Let's go to Larry in Germany. Larry, you're on the air with Mike Rivero. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Larry, Mike. Alex, I got two things. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, it's about Glenn Beck and Chris Matthews and people like that. My question is, we know that they're phonies, but they're also working towards an agenda with what they come out with, and that it's a highly sophisticated psyop. But it's also, we know that it's not personally them that's doing that and their ideas and stuff. So my question is, how do you think, who gives them their orders, and how do they, in their, who's telling them what to do and running that agenda? And
all right, let me comment on that and get Mike Rivero's take on it. Okay, it's sophisticated. Chris Matthews has been a political operative for 30 years. That is what Chris Matthews believes. And they'll get a talking point when Ron Paul's surging in the polls for president to come out and say his supporters are dangerous, he's bad, he's racist. And then Beck and Matthews put that out. Once he's driven down in the polls, they can have him on and make themselves look good. They get talking points. This is on record about what they're pushing. So you see Matthews and Beck pushing new taxes to pay the bankers. I mean, it's very transparent. Their teleprompters are loaded for them on talking points, and then when they have guests on, they just regurgitate those talking points. Mike Rivero.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the messages send in, and it's not exactly that they sit in an office and somebody says, you will tell this to your audience, but when they go to parties and dinners and on the golf course and they have discussions with their backers and supporters and friends, it's this little sort of gentleman's club or this little clique where they're saying this is what the agenda is going to be to serve the collective good of the very, very rich people. And the general way that it operates is somebody like a Glenn Beck will come out, and for a while he'll say the things that we all want to hear, and then slowly he'll start turning around and start trying to lead us back into the fold. It's like the way a sheepdog will try and get some errant sheep and nudge them back into the greater flock. And that's kind of what they're doing here. And so every once in a while you'll see somebody and you say, yeah, I love the way that, that Glenn Beck is saying the things I want to hear, and Keith Olbermann is saying all the good things. And then once they've built the audience, then they basically start towing them back into.
Well, I mean, here's an example. There was a Politico article yesterday. I never got to it. It had a headline like, Republicans go after radicals in their own party. Will you print that for me? And it had top Republican strategists saying, we're going after the birthers. We're going after the truthers. We're going after people that don't like the Federal Reserve. We're targeting them and demonizing them. So they have the real talking points get written by their strategists, put out, and then they load that into the teleprompters and follow it. And it's come out in 2000 that CNN is full of CIA operatives literally scripting it. So there is some actual scripting that's going on. We're going to come back with another segment with Mike Rivero, talk to Karen, John, Herman, Bob, and others. Coming up in about 35 minutes, we're joined by the folks that had the ATF take their BB guns. We're going to continue to have open phones in this hour. We have a guest popping in at the bottom of the hour who had their right to commerce and their Second Amendment violated in a big way. It's not even a Second Amendment. You can't have airsoft, plastic, pellet BB guns now, according to the ATF. That is coming up. Mike Rivero's our guest for another 5 minutes. Karen in Oregon, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Rivero, And thank you, Alex, for taking my call. I am organizing a national strike, and I just have some groundbreaking news that just happened.
Okay.
Bob Schultz from We the People Foundation and Continental Congress have fully endorsed the strike at taxfree15.com.
Ma'am, what I'm going to do is, because you're calling in almost every day, and I've asked the guys to get you on, we're going to put you on hold, get your name and number. I've heard you on other shows. I know what you're doing. I think it's very good what you're doing. I've even listened to Mike's show and heard you call in from memory last week. So we're going to get your name and number right now. Let's go ahead and talk to John in Washington. John, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, Alan?
Go ahead, sir. You're on the air with Mike Rivero.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, that is.
Yeah, you're on the air.
I was calling back. I actually called last week and asked you to come to Spokane, Washington, Gonzaga, and I just want to let you know that you're a great inspiration to all those people out there. And I started a website up, and it's got over 2,000 hits in the first 3 days.
Yeah, people are interested in freedom.
Exactly, and I'm really happy about the movement. We have people coming from an hour and a half away that want to pass out flyers, and I just wanted to say thank you for all the work you do.
Well, give us the website. I want to thank you, John. Give us the website.
It is www.findingtruth509.com, and it's if you type that in Google, it's actually #1, and that happened 3 days. So I just want to let people know.
All right, awesome job, John. I want to give Mike some time because he's here with us at the end as we were opening the phones up for questions or comments for Mike. Mike, the good news is people are becoming politically active, and they don't have to save the world with one stroke. Put a website up, put up flyers, go to city council, start an Access TV show, start a local radio show. I mean, we really are seeing a giant wave of people waking up.
Absolutely, and that's just wonderful to see happen, because the very best thing that anybody can do, because, you know, they call in and say, what can I do to help and everything, the very best thing you can do is speak out, share your concerns with everybody around you, because the more you speak out, the more you're going to give courage to others to speak out. Because the biggest lie the government is telling all of us is that those who are unhappy with the government are this tiny little fringe minority who really no polite company should tolerate, and they should just go away and stay silent. But when you all speak out at the same time, you begin to realize that it really is a majority of Americans are totally fed up. They're furious with the federal government. They think the time has come for a change.
And if enough of us wake up and speak out and just do little things every day, the illusion is going to completely implode.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the illusion has already imploded. I think the idea that the government is ruling with the consent of the governed, that one is completely gone at this point. The polls are always showing the people of America see the government as the biggest threat to their freedom. They are angry with the government. They don't trust the government, support for the government. I think if you discount all the people who are getting a government paycheck, support for the federal government has collapsed completely at this point.
And when the media tells us the economy's getting better and people know it's getting worse, again, they're just bleeding out. They're losing whatever little bit of credibility and mystique. I see the statistics now that came out today that the Internet is now way bigger than the mainstream media put together. I mean, they are in free fall.
They absolutely are. They're losing their audience. The audience is coming over to me. We just upgraded to a new server only 2 weeks ago, and already it's swamped and saturated. And, I mean, that's how fast this thing is growing.
It's unbelievable, Mike. We'll talk to you again live next month. Thank you for spending the last hour with us.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex. I look forward to it.
And we look forward to it as well. Mike Rivero, always interesting and informative. Okay, coming up, I'm going to get into the economy, a news blitz, more of your phone calls, and in about 30 minutes, we've got a guest on, violated big time by the ATF. Talk about a lawless group. I mean, these guys are criminal by any measurement. We'll be right back.